SHRM-CP question of the day lives in the business domain under consultation. It tests what separates a good HR advisor from a paperwork approver. A manager wants to discipline an underperformer. On paper, the case looks clean. But HR's job is to check what happened before the missed metrics. The rule is this: train first, then measure. Here is the scenario. During a routine review of proposed disciplinary actions, HR notices something. A manager intends to place an employee on a performance improvement plan for missed metrics. But training records show something important. The employee was reassigned 30 days ago and still lacks the required systems training. What should HR advise? Option A: approve the PIP but extend the evaluation period to account for the learning curve. Option B: initiate a formal skills assessment to determine if the employee is qualified for the restructured role. Option C: counsel the manager to pause the disciplinary action until the required training is completed and baseline expectations are established. Option D: issue a documented verbal warning for the missed metrics to establish a progressive discipline baseline. Pause here. Pick your answer. Ready? 3 of these answers move forward with discipline. Only one asks whether the prerequisite has been met. The correct answer is option C. Counsel the manager. Pause the disciplinary action. Here is the test the scenario is actually asking you. Has the employer enabled the employee to meet the metric? Because if the training has not been delivered, the PIP is not measuring the employee's performance. It is measuring the training gap. Train first, then measure. Here's the principle. Discipline is only defensible when the employer has first enabled performance. Enablement must come before accountability. Think of it like a driving test. You do not fail someone who never had a driving lesson. You train first, then you measure. Same rule in HR. The prerequisites have 4 steps. 1. Train. Required systems and role-specific training must be delivered before performance expectations apply. 2. Equip. The employee must have the tools, access, and resources needed to perform the role at standard. 3. Communicate. Metrics and expectations must be clearly stated in writing so the employee knows what success looks like. 4. Measure. Performance is assessed only after a reasonable baseline period with the first 3 conditions satisfied. Here is what SHRM's consultation competency requires. Evaluate business challenges. Design solutions. Advise leadership on people decisions. Effective consultation means coaching managers toward defensible actions, not approving flawed ones. The consultation test is simple. If HR approves a PIP before training is complete, HR has co-signed the manager's oversight. Documented, defensible looking, and wrong. So what does HR actually do instead? Pause the proposed discipline. Do not approve the PIP. Document the training gap as the reason for the pause. Complete the required training. Work with the manager to deliver the systems training on a defined schedule. Reset the baseline in writing. Establish measurable expectations with clear effective dates once training is done. Then measure and decide. A new performance assessment begins only after a reasonable baseline period ends. Now, why the other 3 options fail? Option A. Approve the PIP with an extended timeline. Extending the evaluation period is a valid adjustment for a learning curve, but it is applied at the wrong phase. A PIP is a formal discipline tool. It cannot be legitimately initiated when the employer has not delivered the required training. Train first, then measure. Option B. Initiate a formal skills assessment. Skills assessments are valid talent management tools, but premature here. An employee cannot be accurately assessed for a role before the required foundational training has been delivered. The assessment now measures the training gap, not the employee. Train first, then measure. Option D. Issue a documented verbal warning. Verbal warnings follow progressive discipline principles but applied in the wrong context. Any form of performance related discipline is inappropriate when the organization has failed to provide the training required to meet the metrics. The pattern to remember. On any discipline versus development question, ask whether the employer has enabled performance. If not, the discipline is not defensible. It is documentation of the employer's own oversight. You want to pass SHRM-CP the first time? PrepSolution gives you 1,500 practice questions, 3 full mock exams, 600 flashcards, and the SJI Strategy Masterclass. Get it at prepsolution.com/exam/SHRM-CP. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.